Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a former Morgan County coroner is involved in a lawsuit over the mishandling and abuse of a corpse. And the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter is looking to find homes for some of the dogs found in a van earlier this week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on September 14th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, it's officially Thursday. We've been talking about that end of the week forecast. I'm excited for the next few days.
Listen, we're coasting. We're in good shape. It's going to be a fantastic day. Black Gold Festival starts today here in Hazard. Lots of things going on. Power Up the Pantry is going on over across the street in the ARH Medical Mall parking lot. Lots of things to look forward to today, and the forecast is fantastic looking. A little fog out there this morning, a little chill, but you see the fog basically outside the WYMT studios. A little bit over at Pikeville, a little light traffic at Jenkins this morning on the mountain. I-64 near Moorhead, not looking too bad. London Corbin Airport, not looking too bad. I told you somebody'd be in the 40s this morning. Irvin is 48 this morning. We've got 50 in Clintwood, 50 in Hazard, 50 in Williamsburg, some upper 50s in Jackson, Monticello, and over toward Pikeville. But again, those temperatures are dropping quick. Look at the difference from 24 hours ago. 11 degrees colder in Hazard, 11 degrees colder in Ashland, 10 degrees colder in Prestonsburg, and 15 degrees colder this morning than it was this time yesterday in Monticello. Out the door forecast after the fog. It's going to be a beautiful day. Get out there and enjoy it. Temperatures in the upper 70s later. Olivia?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Several Morgan County officials are facing a lawsuit, including the county's former coroner, Raymond Van Cleve. The lawsuit says Van Cleve mishandled and abused the corpse of Nathan Payton. Jeremy Toms went to Salyersville to speak with Payton's family.
I went and called 911, and it starts from there. A nightmare.
Basil Payton says his brother Nathan lived on Grassy Creek in Morgan County.
He was fun-loving. He lived life the way he wanted to.
But that life was cut short by major health issues.
He was 45, way too young.
On December 30th last year, Basil went to check in on Nathan, but he wouldn't answer. Basil then found his brother's body in good condition, but a couple days later...
Well, when the funeral home went to pick him up, they said, "Oh my God, we've got a problem."
The lawsuit says that day was unseasonably warm and alleges Morgan County coroner Raymond Van Cleve did not have privileges to put the body in a freezer at any local facilities. So instead, the body was left in a body bag inside Van Cleve's hot vehicle.
When they buried him, he had to remain in the body bag, closed casket. People actually got sick at the funeral from the odor that was emanating from the casket.
Instead of saying goodbye to their loved one, they were asking a question.
How could this happen to anyone?
It's one Basil wants answered to ensure no one else has to endure what he says happened to his brother.
It's not something that you put on a high standard like you would a sheriff or governor, but they can affect your life more than what anybody could imagine.
In Magoffin County, Jeremy Toms, WYMT Mountain News.
Van Cleve has since resigned. Former County Judge Executive John Stacy and multiple magistrates are also named in the lawsuit. It claims they should have known of Van Cleve's negligent and reckless behavior. The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County takes in roughly 100 animals a week. With a much smaller number getting adopted each week, the shelter has been dealing with overcrowding. Earlier this week, 35 dogs were found in a van in Letcher County, leaving president of the shelter, Tony Vaughn, and staff working all week to find rescues to send the dogs to, because Vaughn says the shelter is full and so are many across the country.
With everybody else having the same problem across the nation, it's kind of tough to get rescues to come in because they're also struggling to find places to place the animals because of the same circumstances.
Vaughn says only about 85 dogs are taken by rescues every 2 weeks. They are grateful for the help they are getting for the animals, but he says the community needs to step in step up in order for a change to be made. Some of the dogs have already been taken by rescue groups, but Vaughn is hopeful the rest will be taken by other rescues or foster homes by today. In Estill County, dozens of dogs were found living in deplorable conditions. Police say 73 dogs were found in crates with matted fur and covered in feces and urine. One of the dogs has died, according to the Paws for the Cause. The dogs are now in the care of animal rescue groups. Officials say with the Estill County Animal Shelter say there is not room for all of the dogs. Paws for the Cause is also helping to hold some of the animals.
I'm glad that we got the anonymous call to look into it. The dogs were very happy to be out of their crates. I think they had lived in the crates for quite some time in their own feces and urine.
Police have charged Delbert Weber with 73 counts of cruelty to animals. One of the couples who sued former Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is being compensated. The attorneys for David Ermold and David Moore say the jury awarded each of them $50,000. Davis denied the same-sex couples a marriage license in 2015. She will have to pay them. A separate jury determined another couple, James Yates and Will Smith, will not be compensated. Election day in Kentucky is now less than 2 months away. Candidates running in November have filed campaign finance reports. So far, Governor Andy Beshear has raised $15 million during the gubernatorial campaign, compared to $2 million for Republican candidate and Attorney General Daniel Cameron. So far, Governor Beshear has already spent $10.8 million and has another $4.2 million on hand. Cameron has spent $1.4 million and has $1.4 million more in cash on hand. WYMT and Kentucky Power are joining forces again to restock our local food pantries. You can help us by dropping off canned and non-perishable food items today from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at any of the 3 locations on your screen. In Hazard, go to the ARH Medical Mall on Black Gold Boulevard. In Pikeville, the Kentucky Power Service Center on North Mayo Trail, and in Ashland at Kentucky Power on Winchester Avenue. People from at least 30 different countries are in Lexington for the annual September yearling sale at Keeneland. It is the 80th year. More than 4,200 horses are up for sale during the course of the next few days. Buyers coming in from all over the world to place their bids. The third session got underway yesterday morning around 11, marking the first day of a 2-day book. The auction is even streamed online for those who could not attend or had to watch from afar.
This side of the business is what pays for everything on the racetrack, a lot of it anyway. So I think we've been a little bit of a behind closed doors for a number of years, and the local community have not necessarily recognized this as an activity that is critically important to our local economy.
The event is free to attend and open to the public. Visitors can walk the grounds and stables and get a peek behind the curtain of the industry. The sale runs through September 23rd. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, Kentucky is not the only state dealing with overpopulation at kennels. Stay with us as we take a closer look at the national stray pet crisis.
After a bit of a chilly morning, the forecast improves dramatically this afternoon. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.